Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You get many different ways you can watch. You can find us on the radio on icradio.media. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast, The Newscasters.com. We definitely appreciate you watching and listening to us as we provide news out there for you. You know, it's all about the truth and getting information out there to you as well. Everybody who knows me and who has watched this show knows I love organic. I love natural things. And I have found so many natural remedies. I don't know if you call it a remedy or God's medicines. I'm not sure what you'd call it. But everybody who knows me knows I have asthma. And I've had a really difficult time with it throughout the years. And talk show hosts has got to be able to talk without coughing. So I ran across kind of a been through horticulture school, and I love planting. I love plants. I love seeds. I love all this kind of stuff. And so I've been raising herbs for a number of years. I don't even know how long I've been doing it. And I don't know why I just recently found out about ginger root. It's this weird looking thing right here. This is called ginger root. But did you know that you can dry this? You can dehydrate it and you can make a powder out of it. I make teas with it, and I'm going to have to put some more in there, but I'll just show you what it looks like. So here you go. Let's go ahead and pour some of it into this little bowl. And as it is dried, of course, I can put it in something and make a tea out of it. You can make a tincture out of it. You can do anything you want to out of it. But as it's dried, it looks like this. But now when you add a little bit of water, it kind of brings it back to life again. So what I want to talk to you today about is, first of all, and it smells so good. Ginger ale? Yeah, it's got ginger. I don't know how much ginger adds in it, but anyway, it does have some ginger in it. And again, it's really good for you. It's good for your heart. It's good for your lungs. It's good for all kinds of things. But since I've been taking this, you don't have to dry it. You can just take it, just straight off of the root if you'd like to do that. But since I've been doing this, I'm not coughing near as bad. And we are in early spring. Typically, early spring is murder to me. I mean, I can't breathe. I'm coughing on you constantly. Some of you go, Donna, please stop the show. Get well first. But I'm not doing that. Have you noticed that? It's all because of ginger root. And there are other things that you can do too, naturally, that can help you out as well. So we're going to talk about how to grow ginger root in 6 easy steps. But before we get to that, what is ginger? So let's go there. And when to plant ginger and that kind of thing. So let's talk about what ginger actually is. Although it's referred to as ginger root, ginger actually comes from an underground stem, and it's a tropical flowering plant from the same family as turmeric. I love turmeric too, by the way. Turmeric is good for you. I'll tell you what I did one time. I thought, I'm very pale in color. I want to take some turmeric and let's just see what happens, because it's really red. And a lot of people who make candles, they want to make candles the natural way, will use turmeric in the candles to kind of turn them a little reddish orange look. Guess what? I ate so much of it, I turned a reddish orange. Of course, it didn't stay long. And once it got through the bloodstream, I was okay. But it's a tropical flower that it's kin to the turmeric. Now, a sharp bite of raw ginger comes from gingerol. It's an aromatic compound, and I'm telling you, it smells really good, that transform into the sweeter gingerone when it's heated or it's dried, making ginger an especially versatile ingredient. Now, ginger is a popular ingredient in many different cuisines, particularly in various kinds of Asian cuisine, including Japanese, Chinese, and Thai cuisine. For the fullest flavor, fresh ginger is the best way to cook this, and you can mince it, and you can dice it, you can also shred it, you can also cook with dried or powdered ginger, which is my preference, which way I like to do it. So let's talk about when to plant ginger. Okay, early spring is the best time to plant your ginger, which is what I'm going to be doing shortly. As soon as I get through this show, I'm going out to the greenhouse. I'm going to plant some. Okay, ginger is a tropical plant that will grow year-round if you're in a warm climate. Now, in cooler climates, ginger should be planted in a planter, which is what I'm going to be doing, and you need to bring it inside during the cold months. But wait until after the first frost has passed to plant your ginger. We could get some frost next week, so I'm going to have to wait about a week on this. The plant will take 8 to 10 months to mature, and it's best harvested in the winter when the plant's leaves begin to fall. Now, when do you plant it? Okay, allow the plant to reach full maturity, or when to harvest it, I'm sorry, before you harvest it. And it's going to take about 8 to 10 weeks and months. This means that you can plant it in the spring. It should be ready to harvest by the winter time. Allowing the flowering plant grows out of your ginger root to become dry before you harvest it. And again, that takes about 2 months. The longer you wait to harvest your ginger root, the stronger it's going to taste. So here we go. Again, this is what your ginger root looks like. It's kind of a weird looking thing. It looks like something that maybe came out of a science fiction movie. I don't know. But there are many different parts to this. Now, this again has dried for about 2 months on before it was harvested. Let's see, and I got a box of these, and because there's one, they all look different. They have all this funky look to them. Looks almost like a weird monster hand, doesn't it? Okay, and let's see. Now there's a smaller one right there. I can still use that. Now I can go ahead and dry these, and I'll probably dry a couple of them and put them in powder form. There's another one. See how he looks. Yeah, they got weird looking hands on them. And they're not soft at all, but they're not dried. It's the best way I know how to explain it. Okay, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more on how to grow the ginger root. And before we go into a commercial break. Okay, now, this is how you grow it. You got to follow these simple steps. Okay, first you want to buy the ginger root. Okay, and I would go with totally organic, which is what I did, because you don't want to grow anything that has pesticides on it or anything like that. So, to grow the most common variety, which is called Jingiber, let me go ahead and spell that for you. It's actually Z as in zebra, Ingiber. You can simply buy the ginger root from your local grocery store. Again, try to go organic if you can. When choosing a ginger root to plant, look for roots that are plump and young. And that's what this looks like right here. Any growth buds on the tip, called the eyes, are a plus, as they're already beginning to grow. And there are some eyes on here. Now you'll look at, now there's the bottom part of the ginger root right here. What you're looking at is the top part, and you can see an eye right there, so I know that it's ready to start growing right here. And on the others, I noticed it as well. Okay, and here's one that's really prominent. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but there's an eye right there, and there's another one right there. So I got some ginger root that's ready to start growing. Okay, now what you want to do is cut the ginger. So what you can do is plant an entire ginger root for one plant if you'd like to do that. That's perfectly well to do. Or you can cut it up into plant multiples. Okay, now simply cut your ginger into fragments and allow it to set out a day to become dry and form a callus. Kind of like potatoes. You know, when you cut a potato and you can really see the inside of that potato, before you plant the potato, you need to set it out. Any root vegetable, you need to do that. And it'll kind of grow a hardness where that cut part was. And the reason you want to do that is you can invite all kinds of issues. You can invite disease if you're not careful, if you don't let that just kind of scab over. You remember your kid? I was a tomboy growing up, so I would run into home base. We'd play baseball with the boys out in the neighborhood, and I would slide into home base and skin my knees up. Well, as it's getting well, it starts scabbing, right? So that's what you want this to do. If you cut it, you want to give it time to scab over, okay, so it doesn't have that that part to it that's, you don't want it fresh and going out into the ground. You also, if you don't do that, you're going to invite disease. And another thing you're going to do is invite insects. Now let's see if they say that, if they do. Okay. Make sure that it has an eye, and then also which are the nodes at the ends of the plant. And that's actually going to help it to sprout properly. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about why you'd want it to become dry and form a callus, but I promise you that's why. Okay, again, that way you're not inviting disease and you're not inviting insects, those little pesky things out there. Okay, now you want to prepare your soil, and that's a little bit different, okay? Again, you want a container, especially if you live where I live. Now, if you live out in the tropics, you're fine, but anywhere else, you basically want a container garden. Okay, combine your potting soil with compost mulch for your ginger. You want to plant your ginger in a well-draining soil to prevent rot. That's why you really want to go in a container. Mildly acidic soil is best for ginger. Also, make sure your soil or your potting mix has a pH of 6 to 6.5. Now, this is another thing you need to do. You need to get with your county, and they're going to have an extension service. And what you can do is collect different parts of your yard or your land. You want to collect some samples of your soil, and then you want to send that in to them. It takes about 2 weeks or so, could be a little bit longer. It depends on how many other people they have ahead of you. And so it takes a little while, but they'll come back and they'll tell you the pH balance of your soil. Mine's 6.5, which is absolutely perfect for this if I wanted to grow it outside. But now also, I have very sandy soil, which is not good. And so you want kind of a mix of a sandy and a clay soil. So anyway, I'm going in a container. And then again, I want to be able to bring it in the winter months as well. So that's really important. You need to find out the pH balance of your soil. And you need to know if it's sandy, is it loamy? You need to know what it is. Now, I have neighbors who live less than 10 miles from me who have clay soil. So again, it's really important that you do that. Let's go into a commercial break, and I promise you we're going to return in just a few minutes. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdy.lawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Yes, I love anything that's natural. Absolutely. Ginger root is one of my go-tos because I have asthma. It's also good for other things, and we'll talk about that a little bit later if we get some time in this segment. Okay, so we're talking about how to plant ginger root. You can buy it from the grocery store. Again, go as organic as you possibly can. That's number one. Cut your ginger. Make sure it scabs over now. It may take a couple of days to do that. Again, important that you don't cause disease and you don't cause those little pesky insects to come in. Got to prepare the soil. We talked about that. You need to choose a location. So let's talk about it. Okay, ginger thrives in partial shade with only about 2 to 5 hours of sun a day, partial shade. I'm not going to set this out where it's facing the south because I get full sun there. And again, only 2 to 5 hours of sun a day. I'll probably plant mine pretty close to the front of the house that doesn't get that much sun. Now take that into account if you're planting your ginger outdoors. If you're planting in a pot, use a plastic pot at least 12 inches deep. If you're in a warm climate, you'll be able to grow your ginger year-round. If you're in a cold climate with harsh winters, plant it in a pot so you can move the ginger indoors in the winter. Now here's number 5, plant your ginger. Okay, bury your ginger roots 2 to 4 inches below the soil, at least 8 inches apart. Now, if you're planting ginger in a pot, plant only one piece of ginger because you're going to need plenty of space. If any of the roots are sprouting, plant so that the buds are pointing upwards. Now, another thing you need to do is water your ginger. Water the ginger directly after you plant it. Continue to keep your soil moist, but not saturated. Watering it just until the soil dries out in the late summer or fall, the stems of the ginger plant will start to die. So when the stems die, stop watering the plant completely. It's almost like a desert. I would think out in Arizona would be a great place to plant that. I would think so. Some of my ginger tea right now. Okay, now, how do you harvest ginger? This is a whole new story right here. So when the ginger starts to die back, which could take 8 to 10 months, your ginger is fully mature and it's ready to harvest. So here's your guide. Number 1, what you want to do is trim the stems. So when your stems begin to turn yellow, the ginger root is nearing maturity and it will soon be ready to harvest. Now, wait until your ginger plant stems have died and the soil has dried out before you harvest it. Trim the top of the ginger plant stems 2 to 3 weeks before you begin or plan on digging it up. Now, number 2, you need to dig the entire plant. This is where I was confused. So using your hands or a small towel, gently remove the ginger root. Gently do it. You don't want it to break. You need to remove the ginger root from the soil and clip it free from the rest of the ginger plant. You can use your hands or a small trowel to do this. Now, number 3, what you want to do is wash and prepare the ginger. You'll wash and scrub the ginger roots under running water, being careful to get rid of as much dirt as you possibly can. Your ginger is now ready to be cooked, pickled. I've never pickled it before. I'm going to try that. Dried or prepared it any way you like. You can also save some pieces of ginger to replant the following season. It's the gift that just keeps giving back. So you buy it one time and you've got ginger. And so this is a pretty awesome thing. Now, one thing I want to do is talk about recipes with ginger. And let me look this up real quick because I've got a website I love to go to. Recipes with ginger. And you're going to love these. And they're really good, easy to cook. And that could be with ground beef. Let's see. I mean, whatever you want to cook with, ginger is good with. Let's see, I was at a get together one time and somebody had it was like a pie that had ginger in it. And it was really good. Ginger's really good to use in soups. I like to put it in salads, but now in salads, I really like the powder form. That's just, and it kind of has this little peppery-like taste to it. Now in the morning, what we do, you've all heard me talk about my little concoction that I do every morning, and this is the apple cider vinegar. I also have some dried oranges. I bought a bunch of them on sale one time, and I went on ahead and dehydrated them and made powder out of them. And then I like to get about a half teaspoon of that, and then about a half teaspoon of my ginger, and then I like about a teaspoon of honey, and I'll go with just about 2 ounces of the vinegar. Now the apple cider vinegar, the one that has the mother in it, they call it. And then I'll fill up about 3 ounces of water, and I divide that, and Phil and I drink that every single day with our breakfast. And so it's a really good thing to do. Again, ginger is like one of the best things ever. So you can actually make a carrot ginger soup out of it. And it's really easy to do as well. Now, by the way, you want to go to this website, acouplecooks.com. A couple, like Phil and me, a couple, cooks.com. And they got some great recipes in there. And it's really good to go with the grilled cheese sandwich. I've tried this recipe. It's super good. So it's a bright orange ginger recipe. It tastes like sunshine. So if you're in the wintertime and you hate the winter like I do, I love hot summer weather. And I've just got to think about the summertime, getting out in the garden, that kind of thing. This is the soup for you, okay? Soup for you, no soup for you. This is soup for you. I know I've watched too many Seinfeld things. Okay, so this recipe is ideal for when you got a big bag of carrots to use up and you're in the midst of a gray season craving sun. What you do is you're going ahead and puree the carrots. Okay, you need to cook them first, but depending on how you like your carrots. I like mine to be a bit mushy, so I'll cook mine for about 10 minutes, sometimes 12 minutes. Then I want to puree them. You can put them in your blender or whatever you want to do. You want some ginger root. Go on ahead and cook that in, by the way, with the carrots. I would use probably one of these. It's probably going to be about a 1/4 cup of ginger, because ginger can be extremely strong, okay? So it doesn't take near as much ginger as it does your carrots. Then again, you want to puree those ingredients together. Put a little bit of parsley on it, and even some cheese or a cheese sandwich, and it's super good, and it's really easy to do. All right, now let's talk about this, ginger tea. That's what I live off of. I love my ginger tea. So, they use, see if they did the same thing I do. Yeah, it's really spicy flavor. And they put a little bit of lemon and some sweet honey in it. And it's a good substitute for coffee if you're trying to avoid caffeine. I ain't going to go there. But anyway, It's got potential health benefits like aiding your digestion, reducing inflammation, which is what I'm doing because of my asthma, and more. Okay, so this is another thing you can make is ginger Dijon dressing. Oh, and it's so good with chicken fingers. You'll absolutely love this. So it's tasty. So what you can do is you make a vinaigrette out of it with rice vinegar, honey, and oil for the earthy kind of spiciness. And then you want some fresh ginger root for this. Now you can grate it. You can put it in your food dehydrator. You can do whatever you want to do. They suggest you do the fresh, but I'm just telling you, put just a little bit of this right here on it. Yeah, dehydrate your own, make a powder out of it. You're right on. But it's so good with chicken fingers. Okay, another one is ginger lime hummus. So here's a great recipe right here. It kicks it up. It's kind of like an Asian style flavor. You got ginger, you got lime, you got garlic, and you got soy sauce. How easy is that? And it's really good. It's ultra simple. You just throw these ingredients to a food processor and you blend it. And you can put it like on put it on biscuit, any kind of bread, toast, whatever, and it's really good on that. I think we got time for a couple more. Sesame ginger dressing, nothing better. And so here's how you make that. Okay, so what you'll do is use rice vinegar and then the spicy ginger for a finish. I like to make mine with olive oil and put a little bit of mayo in it. Yeah, so about a quarter cup of the oil, and then about a tablespoon maybe of mayonnaise, and just a little tiny squirt of mustard goes really good in it too. And then what I like to do for the sesame seeds, I like to toast mine. There's two different ways you can toast them. So you can use some olive oil, put it in the iron skillet, and put some ginger. Put some of that in, not ginger, but the sesame seeds in there. And again, just cook it on the stove. Now, don't cook it long, okay? Because it'll burn like really super fast. You got to be standing right in front of it. Don't answer the phone. Don't get distracted with your husband or your kids. You need to be stirring it with a wooden spoon the entire time. Okay, only a minute or so, and then you'll take it off. Let it kind of cool off. Put it in this sesame ginger dressing, and it's better. I mean, it's just better toasted. So go on ahead and do that. Just a few seconds left. Let's talk about this last one right here. Fried rice with ginger. So easy to do. Just and you can use the white or the brown rice, either one. Go ahead and cook up your rice, and then you're going to add about a half a teaspoon of the ginger. You can use it grated. Again, I like to use mine powdered. Now remember this, when you dry it, you only use half as much as you would fresh, okay? Because that flavor really intensifies when it's dry in a dried form. I got to go. Man, I'm getting hungry. I'm going to have to go out there and plant my ginger root too. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. Abundant Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire that's syndicated. You can also find us on the radio at icradio.media. And don't forget that podcast, Now I'm Coming After You. This is where truth matters. And you can find that on our page as well. Oh, by the way, go to our website and you'll be able to pull all this stuff up. So go to icradio.media or donnasedge.com. Thanks for watching.